Oh, hi, everybody. Where did my other shoe go? Oh, there we go. It's a slipper. Let's play Word Whiz, shall we? Thanks. Thanks. So I hope everybody's doing well. Time to whiz around. Oh, I already did that, thanks. Yeah, we're gonna Word Whiz. I'm hoping Word Whiz isn't too challenging, but I guess we'll see. I know a bunch of stupid words. We'll see how it goes. Word Whiz? WW1. We want color. You know, I'm gonna turn down the cycles. By a lot. There we go. Always feel relieved after, like, the sound. Yeah. Version 3.0 Apogee software production is Word Whiz. Word Whiz is a word challenge game that can measure your knowledge of the English language. For example, are you positive you know what the word peruse means? Most people believe that... Okay. It means to skim or to glance over, but in fact, it means to read carefully. Also, while playing Word Whiz, you'll receive a continuous rating after each quiz question. Most questions focus on a keyword, which is shown in capital letters. Simply find the word or phrase that most correctly matches the keyword. There are always 4 multiple choice answers to choose from. Guess if you have to. There are 100 words presented in this volume, but you continue playing until you miss 20 questions. You will earn a bonus miss for every 10 questions you answer correctly. So this is actually way more generous than the other Whiz games. Whiz games. Also, when a question is correctly answered, you might receive some additional related information just to further expand your already voluminous knowledge base. Good luck and have fun. Any missing knowledge, you always supplement with help of the internet. Wikipedia is still my homepage. We're not going to reveal the answer. Here we go. The sport of tennis is often thought to be a salubrious way to spend one's free time. Salubrious. Sounds like health. Conducive to health. Yes! That Radio Geek, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Welcome. Most of us can agree that nothing can extenuate the president's behavior in that manner. Oh, man. I'm assuming lessen the seriousness, but I actually don't know. Yep. Having your coffee. Nice. An unmitigated awkwardness characterizes most people of our age. Unqualified? Yes. Like absolute and consummate. As a condition to agreeing to the attorney's suggestion that the suit be dropped, Sue insisted on a quid pro quo. Ugh. This is one of those words that I often forget the meaning to, which is annoying because it's one that we actually use sometimes. Something in exchange for something else, right? Got it right. Got it right. For a while, at least, his jejune behavior made him the center of the attention. Well, there's the jejunum. So what does it mean if you're having weird stomach? Your bile is off. Which bile? Do you think that's yellow bile or black bile? But what does that mean? I have my black bile. I don't know. Okay. I'm just going with childish. Yeah. Okay. Similar word is uninteresting. I went with she was undeniably the the epitome of fairness combined with resolve. Epitome is the embodiment. The business showed an infinitesimal profit last year. Immeasurably small. His gaffes were memorable, but did nothing to advance his candidacy. I mean, none of this stuff is relevant in the 21st century. Let's stop with the presidential thoughts here, Scott. I think those are blunders, right? Are they only political blunders? I thought they were just blunders in general. The program concluded with yet another Oraton statement from the chairman of the board. Wordy? I think it's wordy. Ah, dang it. Pretentious? Clever? The tether we bought broke just after a few days' use. I thought that was a strap. A lash? Oh, crap. Okay. Steve came upon a fascinating drawing of a centaur in the artist's notebook. Fabled half-man, half-horse. Edith's associates looked upon her as their paladin. Champion of a cause. Sales presentation began with a... I don't know how to say this word. Cogent? Is it cogent or cogent? Probably cogent, right? Cognesis. Thoughtful. What? Not what I expected. Gary's friends were astonished to find how soon after his marriage he'd become uxorious. Ooh, I do not know this word. Uho. Uxo. Context clues means it's probably not number one. I'll try submissive. Yeah, okay. The variety of viviparous animals present in the environment astonished most observers. Warm-blooded, right? No. I know this word. Living offspring. Yes. Vivi. Parus. Parturition. Giving of birth. Vivi. Alive. Alive birth. Okay, got it. You have a ton of misses in this one. Way more than the other ones. The maladroit. Is this one of those words that we say different in Canada than they do in the United States? I imagine the T is silent in Canadians. Canadian? In Canadian? In Canadian English, but probably pronounced in American English. Unadept, isn't it? Yeah. His character's panache and what's displayed was no longer in evidence. Confident, stylish manner. A paradigm is a model. A paradigm. The containers were found to be sufficiently capacious. They have a large amount of capacity. Inevitably, there came a time when her forebodings proved impossible to contain. Feelings that trouble is coming? I don't know. I'm going to get tired reading all these sentences. When towns burgeon, we must question whether the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Begin to grow rapidly. Two of the bigger boys are said to have pummeled the smallest boy in the class while the other students watch. Struck repeatedly, right? You're like beating it. You can count on being castigated by your boss if your job performance remains at its present level. Better than being castrated by your boss, but is it demoted? Castigate. I don't know if it's criticism or punishment. I'll say criticism. Yeah. Everyone agreed that she would never do as a raconteur, even though she thought herself outstanding in that role. A recounter of anecdotes? Yeah, okay. Throughout Margie's career, she was considered one of the country's foremost bibliophiles. A book collector? A lover of books. Holders of credit cards must be aware of waking up one morning and finding themselves in financial quagmire. A very difficult situation. I only know that one because of the pen. If it helps, it helps. Roy felt vicarious pleasure through his wife's art success experienced through another. From the start, the comedian's inane patter brought nothing but occasional laughter from the audience. Oh, wow. Make it lacking sense. Yeah. What sentence uses the word harbinger correctly? Well, let's see. Did you spell it correctly there? As a painter, Billy was a harbinger, but his sculpting skills lacked. That doesn't sound right. Randy used a harbinger to catch the fish. That doesn't sound right. Kids ate a harbinger of candy on Halloween Day. I like it, but no. Dark clouds are the harbinger of bad weather. That sounds correct. Yeah. Which word matches the definition to weaken, to cripple? Debilitate. Wow. To debilitate. Annihilate, eradicate, extirpate. I like that word. We'll use it in science. There was a paucity of good seats at the theater. A scarcity. Conversation became acrimonious after Tom teased Jane's big nose. Do you tease the nose? Or do you tease her about her big nose? Bitter, right? An acrid taste. Sue's preternatural intelligence became immediately apparent to all members of the board. Extraordinary? Yeah. O'Connor's vignette demonstrated once again her outstanding ability as a writer of fiction. Is it a brief narrative or a character sketch? I don't know. I'll try the next one. Which foreign word means embarrassing social mistake? Faux pas. Busy City Street produced a cacophony. A cacophony. Cacophony. Noise. Where is it? Harsh mixture of sounds. A cacodemon. The young politician needed to tone down her verbosity. Wordiness. Wait. Wordiness or use of overly... I think it's talking too much, not using too big of words. Yeah. Circumlocution. That's a fun word. Edgar's pretentious manner actually helped the screw, which, much to the amazement of his peers. Showy. Recipe calls for the addition of croutons. Cubes of toasted or fried bread. I'm a word whiz, everybody. I just got upgraded to status of word whiz. His foibles were overlooked by the great majority of his patients. I think they're harmless flaws, right? Yeah. Aberrant behavior is a characteristic of members of that age group. Deviate. Those deviants! Within minutes, as my guide predicted, a beggar accosted me. Approached and addressed. I feel like approaching and addressing is more... I don't know, it might be intimidating, but... confronted. Confronted, thank you. Everyone marvels at her ability to construct lengthy palindromes. Words reading, same backward and forward. Which word describes something as ludicrous, facetious, farcial, fecund, fastidious? Facetious, right? No, farcial? Farcial. Oof. That was actually a tricky one for me. When indisputable evidence was shown to the witness, she sat agape, unable to utter a sound, open mouth. Agape. It means love, everybody, love. By then, we all thought she was resigned to her husband's habitual carping. I actually don't know what carping means. I'm going to say petty fault finding. Yeah, all right. Jocular statements about the absent members of the family were common at their dinner table. It's just funny, right? Yeah. They're not mean, they're just jocular. Just joshing, yeah. All members of the caucus agreed that it would make good sense to espouse the radical position. To support, I guess. It's not quite how I would see espouse, but I'm wrong. Foreign word, match the definition. Raison d'être. Reason for being. We're just going literally with it. To abstain or to refrain. To forbear. To forsake, disclaim, forbear, disavow. Forbear, right? Okay. Who would have expected a person so young to deliver a eulogy so tender and moving? Moving. A funeral oration, a valedictory farewell. I mean, I think it's at funerals usually, right? Yeah, okay. The beleaguered boy finally told his teacher about the playground bully. Oh, I don't know. Weakened or harassed? Beaten? Ooh, this is a hard one. I wouldn't have used any of those words. I would have, like, worn out. I don't know. I don't know. They writhed in pain during the entire time we were with them. Twisted about. If I pronounce a word wrong and you know how to say it, feel free to correct me. I know that's really hard via text, but we can try. Word Whiz hype? I'm finally one-shot it, maybe. We'll see. We'll see where it goes, Nightwolf. I was hoping the words would be okay, given that, you know, I speak English. And Spanish-ish. I used to speak Spanish. I teach science. I've got a lot of the bases covered. Apropos. Oh, shoot. Pertinent, right? Yeah. Which the following objects can be described as incandescent. A light bulb. And Dutch. Yeah. They're good to know. I can't even remember anything. Sehr gut. Deutsch. Dutch. Whatever. Sorry, I've forgotten everything. Jason was ebullient now that school is out for the summer. Bubbling with excitement. Extent and duration of addiction were the parameters of greatest interest to the researchers. Quantifiable characteristics? I think of parameters as limits, but... yeah, okay. As the campaign dragged into its final weeks, the candidate more and more was given to egregious blunders in his speeches. Egregious. Outrageous. Sehr gut or sehr good. Sehr. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. It's egregious. It's egregious that I can't do so even after over a decade. Outrageous. Outrageous as researcher depends on serendipity, cannot anticipate consistent success. Accidental good fortune. Not accidental. Divine good fortune. Shauna is so pretty that her suitors are often driven to fastidious, facile, fecund, or fatuous. Ooh, I don't know if it's fastidious or fatuous. I'm going to say fatuous. Yes. The politician was worried of charges of nepotism. Favoritism shown to relatives. My nepote. The man handled the rude waiter with a savoir-faire. Fat. Fatuous. Fatuous. Like being infatuated. With social tact. Yeah, okay. Susan juxtaposed the $5 bill and the counterfeit. There we go. This is... juxtaposition was like my junior high English teacher word. Now, do I remember what they are? Place them side by side? Yeah, okay, good. You should always be wary of people who pay effusive compliments. Unduly demonstrative or obviously unearned? Unduly demonstrative. Oh well. Wouldn't it be fun to have a gecko as a house pet? A type of harmless lizard. Obviously before Geico. You only know that word because of Claire. Hey, no judgment. No judgment. It seemed likely the two factions would never coalesce. Unite for a common purpose. Earned a bonus miss. Upon entering the school building, you were struck by the decorum of the students. Correctness in behavior. Willingness to help one another. Artistic... well, behavior correct. Ooh. An Italian word. I don't know. A zucchetto. Yes? Yes, right. I got confused. Because it wouldn't be CH, but it's still a K sound. Okay. Zucchetto is a small skull cap worn by an Italian fighter pilot or a member of the clergy. It's a tiny zucchini. Who's wearing the tiny zucchinis? Oh, wait, no, it's a big zucchini. Who's wearing the big zucchini? Wait, I don't know. Oh, tiny zucchini. That's a diminutive, right? I don't know. I don't know Italian. Crap. Let's say a clergy. Yes. Phew. Have you ever known someone who lived by a set of an... Ooh, this is a hard word. Irrefragable principles. Unalterable. The shuttle lifted into orbit in the morning and reached the apogee. Oh, he said the name of its orbit 7 hours later. The highest point. Aunt Elma, only red frag. Right? Blow it up. Was the most garrulous of all of Stephen's relatives. I actually don't know what garrulous means, and I can't figure out what the root is. I'm gonna say obnoxious. Nope. To make a situation worse is to exacerbate it. We don't do that here. Surgeon had also removed part of the mandible. That's your lower jaw. The majority opinion of those who did not know him well perceived him as a taciturn individual. I actually don't know what this word means. Though it's one that I see. Call me. A mandible. Given to saying little. Yes, okay. Tacit. Tacit is short. His querulousness did not improve his standing in the group. Questioning attitude makes the most sense to me, but it's wrong. Oh darn. I got demoted to professor of wordology. Leviathan. Many political scientists have suggested that our government has become a Leviathan. Have they? Or is it just the people? Something of enormous size. It's a Leviathan. Investigators concluded that someone in the mailroom had been filching postage stamps. That's stealing, right? Oh, back to being a word whiz. Phew. His ribald jokes quickly made their way through the company. Coarsely humorous. Eventually, the reporter's apocryphal account of the scandal in the government gained wide acceptance. Invented? Or exaggerated? I'm going to say invented. Most of the debate was no more than logomachy? Logomachy is probably how we say it in English, right? Dispute over words? Ooh. Logos. I'm going to say, is it scholarly hair splitting? Dispute over words? I don't know. Hopefully Word Whiz will help clear up some of the confusion. You never played this game and never will. No, I mean, it's hardly fair to do it in... To do an obscure word game in a language that you were not... I was going to say born speaking. Not your first language? That'd be very difficult. Unfair. Nothing you say will besmirch their reputations. To soil? Soylent reputations are people. But I mean, some of these words you know, obviously. So, the effects of a tsunami soon became apparent. Series of huge sea waves. Gail's ideas were so nebulous, no one listened to her. In other words, Gail only had vague ideas without distinct points of contention. Definitely not all of them. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I don't either. I don't know what mendacious is. What's another word for mendacious? Uh, Complacent, forgiving, warlike, dishonest. I'm going for I don't know. It's dishonest. Okay. Lacking in knowledge. I would never treat the duchies as monolithic. Which of the following objects can be described as monolithic? A giant boulder rooted in the earth, a crying baby, a snowflake, a bar of solid lead. I mean, these are weird examples, but I guess the boulder is the closest thing to being a literal monolith. How many times did Tom's father say to his dog, "You were the bane of my life"? Single most important factor, least important factor, cause of trouble, principal financial drain. Cause of trouble. The reviews for the movie run the gamut from faint praise to resounding acclaim. Range. Like a color gamut. I'm Word Whiz of the Galaxy now. Sweet. The speaker's malapropisms, I probably said that wrong, evoked laughter among most of those present, but her supporters anguish in complete silence. Comical confusion of words, ridiculous claims, transparent exaggeration, unfortunate errors in punctuation. I'm going to say confusion of words. Yep. Earned a bonus, Wids, miss. Oh, I don't know what this is. Becca's clarinet playing was mellifluous. Mellifluous. Delivered without feeling, sweet and flowery and harmonious, sour, poorly heard. I'm going to say sweet. From Melly, meaning honey. The committee's sedulous pursuit. What? Sedulous? Of all the facts in the matter brought favorable comment in the press. I don't know. Rapid and thorough. Intelligent and skillful. I'm glad that there isn't a timer in this game, though. Considerate and insightful, or preserving and diligent. Preserve? Is that even a word? No, that's not. That's persevering. That's okay. I misread it. I'm going to say yes, persevering and diligence. That's a hard one. Had no idea. By the time the merger was concluded, the firm had earned a reputation for callous treatment of employees. Unsympathetic. Everyone expected she would prove adamant in refusing to grant interviews. Good morning, Davidson Rath. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Game gives you enough time to Google it and look smart for this. It's true. Got it on my second screen, obviously. Adamant means diamond, so it's probably firm. Welcome to Word Whiz. We're just reading a bunch of words, matching them to definitions. My neighbor's dog is known throughout his neighborhood for its bellicosity. Well, that means warish inclination to fight. The regimen he encountered turned out to be more than he expected. Regulated course of training. I think it's, yeah, okay. Regulated course of training. Jane's instructor said that her hyperbole was unacceptable. Extravagant statement not to be taken seriously. Someone asked for the time. You reply with, "It's 84 degrees outside. Your logical..." Oh, I used this term today. It's a non sequitur. I asked one of the girls a question and she gave a non sequitur answer and I told her so. Not that she understood. I parted companies with my friends because they ultimately proved intransigent. Lacking in ambition and unwilling to improve sound like exactly the same thing to me. I'm gonna go with... No! Last thing we expected was a series of completely ingenious responses to our questions. Clever? Oh no. A person who's a gadfly is persistently annoying critic. The man and woman's mating was fortuitous. Predestined? Or highly productive? No. No, no. Ah, it is highly productive. No, I lost my galaxy. Oh, man. Oh my. Oh my. We did it. You've completed Word Whiz. There are 3 more volumes of Word Whiz that you can order. Altogether, there are 4 separate unique editions of Word Whiz simply titled Word Whiz Volume 1 through Word Whiz Volume 4. Thanks for GG. Each volume has 100 new questions to challenge and rate your vocabulary level. Each volume can be ordered directly from Apogee software. That took me half an hour? Really? Okay. Let's go faster. Tired of reading. I'm going to show the correct answers. Because, I don't know. I suspect we're not going to be repeating. Maybe I'm wrong, though. The myriad problems we have solved. Many. Infinitely great. No need to read out loud, but I mean, that's kind of boring if you just watch me reading. Observers, I mean, in my head, feared that the revolutionary juggernaut, it's huge. Gallup found that the number of American voters favoring the legislation barely mensurable. Capable of being measured? Good for me. Good for my throat. Certain the problem with her is within her bailiwick? Wow. I don't know what that word is. Bailiwick. I have no idea. We'll go level competence. Sphere operations? Oh, okay. Phew. Last year's summit opened with the Soviet gambit. Oh yes, right. This was before the end of the Soviet Union. 2-week adjournment was immediately requested. I actually don't. I thought it was something to secure an advantage, but I actually don't know. Okay. His yeoman service to the law firm went unrecognized until after his death. I'm going to say long and faithful, like a yeoman. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's just like an archer. Scholar's esoteric presentation astounded the audience. Only for the initiated. Simon's bilious cynicism brought him a degree of recognition among men and women he thought of as friends. I don't know. Persistent? That doesn't sound right in context. Occasional. Extremely unpleasant. Let me say occasional. Extremely unpleasant. Okay. 2 of the sorority sisters interviewing Jenny found her didactic. I actually don't know what that means. Having the manner, I'm going to say one who lectures. Yeah, all right. The acrophobia seemed suddenly to be manageable. Oh, we knew this one. Being out in open spaces? Oh, right, acrobat. Oh, man. That's embarrassing. I knew that one. Headmaster's unsurpassed in his objuration. Finds ample opportunity to practice his skill. Avoidance of assigned tasks. That sounds about right. What? Harsh denunciation. I'm doing poorly. Impeachment. Removal from office. Investigation of misconduct. In office. Criminal charge of an elected official. Accusation of treason or high crime. This is indeed episode 2. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, we're in volume 2 now. I forgot to click it. I mean, I'm doing worse than last time. That's all. Diane found herself enjoying the process of dispersing other people's money instead of her own. Expending? Too much, my surprise found her is refreshingly eclectic. Various sources, diverse. My wife and I, try as might, found no way to halt the developing impasse. It's a deadlock. Admire is beleaguered. Didn't we already have beleaguered? So it reached its triumphal conclusion. Besieged. Later years, the minister turned to his attention more and more to secular problems, concerned with the worldly affairs. Plangent. I don't know what a plangent tolling. Summon the people to their little church. With the school bullies. Okay. Okay. That was the school bully one as well. Beleaguered. But I got it wrong that time, I think so. Yeah. I'm not getting the etymology here. I don't know. Loud and mournful. Okay. Got it right. They used temerarious behavior during the events leading up to the tragedy went unnoticed in the police reports. Revealing fright. Rash. Really? Explicit instructions have been issued to cover situations of that type. Stated in detail. The lawyers claimed the confession was made under duress. Use of force. This cant fooled nobody but the portion of the televised audience that consistently supported them. I thought a cant was like a little dialect. Yeah, I should have done it. Rough. Tries the boy what he could not keep from retching. It's throwing up, yeah. Never promoted Jack rue the day. Regret. Baleful. I thought baleful was like full of hate. None of these things are that. Ominous? Sure. We had baleful as well, did we? Oh. Feigned ignorance. Ignorance. Guano. Still has great commercial value. Dung. It's full of that nitrogen. Specifically, what is it? Saltpeter? I don't know. Feral man. Resembling a wild animal. Unrestrained growth. Uncontrolled vernacular. He studied the vernacular as well as he could in the months available. As we could in the months available to us. Gutter speech? Just the uneducated. It's just Language of particular. Okay, okay, sure. Baroque pearls. I actually don't know. Well, got that right. We're not doing so hot this time. She grew increasingly incontinent. Lacking in self-restraint, sure. Including pee. There's no doubt that his ability to listen closely is a cachet of a first-class conversationalist. Distinguishing feature? Oh, really? Rabid. Fanatical. Ineffable. Too great to be described. Hapless. His friends were so accustomed to his general happiness they no longer paid any attention to it. Carelessness? Unluckiness. Much to everyone's surprise, Susie turned out to be an ailurophile. Ailurophile. I don't know. Charitable? Cats? Where do you get cats from that? Alright, they secure a lectern just in time for the opening session. Catharsis. Purification of emotions through viewing art? Xenophobes have no problem finding others who share their condition. Persons afraid of aliens. Or foreigners. To beguile. Dissuade through lies. Coax by flattery. Oh, right. I should read the whole thing. Great men and women usually are marked by a degree of unpretentiousness. Modesty? Sure. Once the government recanted, the judge decided to declare mistrial. Disavowed an earlier statement. An inordinate number of tax returns were lost. Oh, it's tax time. I should have done my taxes. Shoot. Lost or destroyed. Excessive. A writer puzzled long over the challenge of preserving sympathy for a character whose every line of reasoning was clearly meretricious. I don't know. Flaunting with a sense of righteousness? Or intellectual superiority? I don't know. Yeah, neither of them. Neither of them. Are we going to have to do this again? Showing diffidence during a job interview can expect to affect the applicant's chances. Excessive shyness. Oh, dang it. A repas. A repas. That's food. That's food. They need to piddle away an afternoon. Spend time idly? Yeah, go piddle. Right. Bovine politicians. Dull and stupid? Oh, good. For the pronouncing sentence, the judge dwelled at length on the enormity of the crime. Monstrous. Extraordinary nature. Monstrous wickedness? Really? Enormity? Okay, winsome. This is something I should know, but I don't. Even you knew that. Ouch. Ouch. Charming and attractive. Dang it. Obfuscation. To hide. Capitulate. To surrender. Connotations. Much of the language used in Restoration comedy. Implied meanings. Sanctimonious. He could only marvel at the unself-conscious way in which David offered one sanctimonious statement after another. Making a show of righteousness. All the signs of decadence. Even though few of us could recognize them. None of these are what I thought decadence meant. So, I'm going to say end of an era. Period of decline. Okay. That was my second guess. It was well-deserved notoriety to an unsurpassed gift for scabrous literary criticism. Nastily abusive. Photographs his wizened face reminds me of my everlasting indebtedness to the young man. Shriveled with age. Ah, man. A joust. Zealous efforts. I mean, he looked like an old man. He just looked like an old man. Persistently ferocious, overly partisan, carefully planned. Ardently diligent. Dang it. Hiatus. A break. Nirvana. Moral and physical perfection. Freedom from the external world. Freedom. So tired of his quitites. I don't know what a quitite is. Trifling points. We're not going to make it through this. Agoraphobia. That's being around too many people. Being afraid of the markets. The halcyon days. His colleagues gathered in homage. Mark of respect. Glabrous skin. Oh. I don't know what glabrous means. Smooth. Glabrous is smooth. Oh, his rejoinder's refreshing. Sometimes her witty remarks. They are just replies. Okay. Titivating. That's a word I've never heard before. Because of the times. Sure, I must give thought to titivating. Sprucing up. Thank you, context. Unconscionable. Axe. And by a gratuitous insult. Uncalled for dexterity. Skill in handling things? Sure. Being dexterous. Sempiternal. Increasing or everlasting? Everlasting. Okay. Quotidian. Not again. Daily. Okay. Sure. Turbid. Responses by the principal defense witness caused great concern about the effect of a testimony. Wow, man, I felt really good after Volume 1. Now I'm feeling really dumb after Volume 2. Oh well. Evasive? Confused. Wayward. Unruly. Enervating. Physically weakening. What? To enervate is to physically weaken something? What? Boldness. Arrogate. I don't know what arrogate means. Seize without justification? Great. Ignominious. Humiliating? Humiliating. Again, as in several years past, the young girl took first prize for a manège. I don't know what manège is. Tail manners? Horsemanship. Okay. It's about the horsies. Zealots. Errata. I had not completed my compilation of errata. Weariness set in after 2 hours, yet the conversation could still have been described as scintillating. That's a fun name. I actually don't know. Sparkling. Okay. I should have gone with that. Effeminacy. Effeminacy? It's taken for granted. Unmanliness. She knew at that moment that her palmy days were behind her. Fondly recalled? Carefree. I've never heard of palmy in that way. Prosperous. Okay. Iconoclast. Breaking down cherished beliefs. Opportune. Occurring at a favorable time. Apotheosis. Elevation to godly status. Flaccid prose. Weak and repetitious. Lacking vigor and energy. Comments for the audience made it clear that the theater reviewers would characterize the play as yet another debacle. In our campus, frenetic cramming was the rule. I don't know. Single-minded, highly focused, or obsessive. Those are almost the same thing. Frantic. The one that was different. Ugh. Yikes. Yikes. I was almost there, but not good enough. Let's see if I do better this time. Feral, like a wild animal. Hapless, unlucky. Eclectic, various sources. Bailiwick, this was sphere, I didn't know that one. Bailiwick. Halcyon. Were those the happy days? Those were the happy days. Explicit. Stated in detail. Rabid. Fanatical. Turbid. Were they confused or were they evasive? I don't remember. Confused. Gratuitous. Are uncalled for, right? Saul is considered the distaff side of his family by far the more interesting. We haven't found this one yet, but I'll say female. Winsome was... Wait, what was this one again? Charming and attractive. Darn it. Okay. Cachet was the distinguishing feature. Didn't expect that one. Titivating. That was a fun word. Distaff. I only know Distaff from Loom. Brian Moriarty's venture game. Welcome, Cap. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. New 3D adventure game from Brian Moriarty. Ineffable was that one. Ignominious was humiliating. Wizened meant shriveled with age, I guess. Instead of all the other things that are basically the same thing. Long and faithful was my yeoman. Plangent meant loud and mournful. Didn't know that word, though. The gambit is securing an advantage. Bilious is unpleasant. Think bellicose. Disbursing. Spending. Lectern. Speaker stand. They don't seem to be randomly ordered, which is nice. Zealous. Ardently diligent? Okay. I got that one wrong last time, too. A zealot and a zealous person is not necessarily the same thing. Myriad. Infinitely great. Beguile. Coax by flattery. Again, I got that wrong. I think of it to trick. But that's not quite the same thing. Temerious. Rash. Unpretentiousness. Modesty. Impeachment. Investigation. Acrophobia is being up high, not agoraphobia. Diffidence is being shy. Glabrous is apparently smooth or bald. The top of my head is glabrous. Homage. Mark of respect. Sanctimonious is making a show of righteousness. Arrogant. Sees without justification. Okay. Duress. Using force to procure something. Flaccid. Lacking vigor and energy. Recanted is disavowing. Meretricious. Insincerity. Insincerity. Baroque. Almy was prosperous, I guess. Wayward is disobedient. Facet. Over and over again, they studied every facet of the situation. I don't think we've seen this one before. Is cant fooled. Insincere words. Use of words suggesting piety, I guess. Extricate. How to be lexiphanic, the game. There we go. What you said, Cap. Once the special prosecutor gained the power of subpoena, there was little the senators could do to extricate themselves. Free from difficulty. Quiddites. Were these the trifling points? Yeah, okay. Catharsis is purification of emotion through art. Apotheosis. Coming to God. Guano. Poop. I think it's also bat poop, not just bird poop. Maybe I'm wrong. Debacle. Complete failure. Zealots. Or extreme partisans. Feigned ignorance. Pretend to be ignorant. Retching is puking things. Scabrous is nastily abusive. Agoraphobia is outside. Manege is apparently horsemanship. Secular is the world. Obfuscation is to hide things. Baleful. What was this one again? Ominous. Didactic. Lecturing. Bovine. Dull and stupid. The attorneys insisted there was no way to tell. No way that all aleatory elements could be anticipated in drafting the contract. I don't know. I'm going to go for unpredictable. Here we go. Time to reach the threshold of greatness. Iconoclast, destroy cherished beliefs. Enormity is apparently monstrous wickedness. Random. Beleaguered. To besiege. Connotations are the implied meanings. Illurophile is apparently a cat fancier. To piddle away is to spend time idly. It was obvious from the start that the dean would be loath to fulfill her promises. reluctant. Scintillating is sparkling. A juggernaut is a massive overpowering force. Quotidian is a fun word for daily, I guess. Vernacular is just the language of a particular group. Bravado, it's being pretentiously bold. Objuration is a harsh denunciation, apparently. Nirvana was freedom from the external world. Incontinent is not being able to restrain yourself. Inordinate is excessive. Wallow, it seemed to be his nature to wallow in accounts of the misfortune of others. Take unrestrained delight in. Engage in personal combat is to joust. Yeah, hiatus. Hopefully destroyed the close attention communities you enjoyed until then. Break in continuity. Children enjoy playing in a cul-de-sac. Got that right. Street closed at one end. The butt of the sack. Butt of the bag butt. Love playing in the bag butt. Sounds weird in Portuguese because also there's agora. Oh, right. Phobia. I'm afraid of the now, Cap. I'm afraid of the now. Xenophobes hate foreigners. Opportune. Occurring at a favorable time. Errata. Errors, right? There we go. Enervating, apparently, is to weaken you, not invigorate you. To take your nerves instead of putting them in, I guess? I don't know. Repa. That's food. Gallophound. Mensurable. Barely mensurable. Barely measurable. Impasse is a deadlock. Unconscionable. It's against your conscience. Sempiternal. Sempiternal criticism. Cynicism. It's everlasting. Decadence. It's a period of decline. Frenetic. Was frantic. For Kate's birthday, Jim bought her a bauble she cherished more than any present he had given her previously. Showing ornament of little value. It's a trinket. Rejoinders are replies. Never for a moment did Jack rue the day. Regret. Regret. And esoteric, only for the initiated. Dexterity is skill in handling things. Competence. Hey, we're a word whiz. Word whiz of the galaxy. Okay. That's it. I know it's early, but if I start another volume, I'll go too late. So, we're going to be done. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. We finished off that, what do you call it? Scuba Venture. Finished off Scuba Venture. Started Word Whiz. Thanks for GG's. So next week, hopefully next time at least, we will finish off the last two episodes and then move on. I'm talking too loud. To Commander Keen episode 4. The first episode of the Goodbye Galaxy duology. Secret of the Oracle, many people's favorites. Apparently only went through 2. So next week will not be the big finishing stream. I think we're going for 3 more. 3 more streams? 3 more streams. Vadim Benev. Someone's playing System Shock 2. That's a great suggestion because System Shock 2 is one of my favorite games. So I'm going to send you over to Vadim or Vadim, who may even tell us how to say their name properly. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. Thank you for sitting through Word Whiz. I hope you learned some new words. I did. I'll probably forget them, but I learned them. Hope to see you next time. Vadim. Anyway, take care, everybody. Have a great day. We're not on Commander Key yet. We're over here. Bye, Zorg. Thanks for being here. Bye.